watching Local 10, home of Local10.com. WPLG Local 10 News at 11 starts now.
Remember that fight between neighbors over noisy chickens? Well, a judge ruled earlier this week that the chickens and ducks had to go. But tonight, we're learning other Hollywood homes have chickens too, as the foul feud goes federal. Local 10's Baron James explains.
These fine feathered fowl find themselves flocking right at home in Pip Brant's backyard.
Our neighborhood's nice.
And she says her neighbors have rolled out the welcome mat for her 20 chickens, including 3 roosters and 17 hens. You don't mind the chickens?
I don't mind the chickens.
Okay.
Not at all. Why would I? What's wrong with the chickens?
They're nice. What's better than just like a real roaming chickens around? It's fantastic.
Pip Brant tells me these chickens have called this coop home for 10 years now, right here in the city of Hollywood, and that the code enforcement knows all about it.
They didn't say anything about the hens. They just said no roosters.
So when was the last time that the city said anything to you about getting rid of the roosters?
I don't know, about 8 years ago.
8 years ago?
Yeah.
Did the city ever cite you, fine you?
No.
On the other hand,
the police have been to our house 54 times.
Steve Kohn has been in a chicken fight with his complaining neighbors and the city of Hollywood for almost 3 years over his backyard chickens and ducks at his Hollywood home. The city won a lawsuit last month to collect over $160,000 in code enforcement fines. Now the foul feud finds itself in the federal civil rights ring, HUD opening a housing discrimination complaint case based on zoning and land use enforcement and the Kohn's cultural and religious practices. They are Sephardic Orthodox Jews, a family of 12, influenced by Arabic culture.
They do everything that they can to stop anyone from moving in and living according to a culture that is something other than the majority culture that's been established here for the last 35 years.
And in response to the Kohn's federal complaint, the city of Hollywood sent me this statement, which in part says that the city takes all allegations of religious discrimination very seriously and that the city attorney, in this case with the Kohn's, has not determined any sign of religious discrimination. In the meantime, Laurie, the Kohn's were able to find new homes for their ducks. They left today, and they now have 8 days to find new homes for their chickens based on a circuit court order brought on by their next-door neighbors' civil lawsuit.
We mentioned yesterday they were even on Craigslist with those chickens. Any takers?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's how they were able to adopt out the ducks. They had someone to answer the ad, and that person picked up the ducks today, and they were supposed to exchange gallons of honey in return for taking the ducks away.
So interesting what's going on. Baron James live for us, and we can tell you there was a similar fight in Hollywood a few years ago, this time between the city and a synagogue. The trouble began in 2001 when neighbors complained the house of worship didn't belong in a residential home. The city tried to kick out the converted synagogue, and the Chabad responded with a religious discrimination lawsuit. A judge eventually ruled in favor of the Chabad.